You want to try something special? Something that'll make you feel real good? Come on, don't be afraid. You'll love it. I've got every kind of drug movie you'll need. Marijuana, goofballs, the hard stuff. Hey, it's Just Say No night, right here on USA's Real Wild Cinema.
Hi people, Sandra Bernhard here. Welcome to Real Wild Cinema, where we view wonderfully bad movies from the 50s and 60s, cut down so you won't grow tiresome. After all, the 90s is all about pacing, pacing, pacing. Kids today have short attention spans. No time to waste. Give me a soundbite, a headline, and a Valium, and we'll call it a day. Well, teenagers in the 60s were a little more patient. Probably because their school showed some pretty cool educational films, like our first Just Say No clip, The Weird World of LSD. My drama teacher did LSD in the 60s, and he's still waiting for those flashbacks he was promised. This 1967 classic features a guy who happens to look like the Beaver, who takes LSD, lies on the couch, and has the scariest trip you can imagine. This guy's trip would make a great music video for, like, the Smashing Pumpkins. So sit back, pretend it's the late 60s, you just dropped acid, and your parents are coming home in 20 minutes.
Things that one thinks he does while under the influence of LSD are not necessarily the same things that are actually being performed by that person. His sense of reasoning is altered. Yet to one under LSD, he feels that his timing, judgment, and reasoning are extraordinary and far above that of mere mortals. A question arises. What does one under the influence of LSD hear, see, and do? We're about to take you into the world of the LSD user, a world that to him is real, yet as terrifying and unreal as anything ever imagined. We call his trip of terror to fly a giant bird.
Hey, who can blame those kooky kids for rushing right out of their classrooms and hunting down some acid? This educational film made an acid trip look so cool, and that chicken who kept flashing in his trip has made me hungry. Just when you thought drug use was fun, they stop you cold with the sobering truth in our next feature, The Narcotic Story. Hey, it's all right to stick around. A few years before the weird world of LSD scared the bejesus out of high school kids, our next film, The Narcotic Story, attempted to put the blame for drug addiction where it rightly belonged. You guessed it, parental neglect. These poor 50s kids were so unloved by their parents that they had nowhere else to turn but drugs. Of course, if it were the 90s, you'd go through a 12-step program, do a couple of interviews about how drugs are bad, and then you'd have a huge movie career. Try and have a little compassion for this young Rene Russo type, for all she ever wanted was a little attention from her parents. Is that too much to ask?
This is a story with many facets. Varied, twisting side channels lead to the central core and current. Often it is considered a city story. But this is a misconception, for parts of it frequently reach into small towns and villages. And still another part here. Yet, independent as each episode may seem, they all lead toward the central theme, toward one end. Hooked. A monkey on her back. Hophead. Junkie. Hype. There's no shortage of words in the jargon to identify her. They all add up to the same thing. And she knows better than anyone what they really mean. The end of the world. The drives and emotions that will lead toward the end are molded. But in the beginning, God created man in his own image, strong and sound in mind and body. But sometimes there are defects in the pattern of learning, errors, misunderstandings, and many times negligence. Young minds and emotions are held firm by love and a picture of security. They cannot understand the complexities of life. It is the duty of the adult to introduce these complexities with a careful teaching hand. They must always remember that reason is the gift of adulthood, which youth has not yet learned. Youth feels life just as they see it, and they react to those feelings. Thus, a problem takes root, and a beginning is established. Hours of loneliness. And these hours unfold into days, weeks, months, years, in which the young mind probes and experiments with life. Youth is hungry and eager to grow into the cherished dream of adulthood. But left to itself, that growth is unchanneled. The adult tools are available, but without the guiding hand to teach their proper use. To the young person, the mere use of these tools symbolizes the arrival into the grown-up world, a dream world where dependency is ended and loneliness can be conquered. And youth finds it can make its own decisions despite inexperience. In any group playing a clandestine game, there is likely to be one or two who have advanced into even more forbidden areas. Bigger kicks. Drugs.
Narcotics addiction frequently follows a pattern of gradual addiction to different drugs. Often the introduction comes in the form of a goofball. The situation is expanding. It is no longer simply a family problem, a community or social problem. Although it is all of these things, it is now also an enforcement problem. But detection must come in time. And a young girl who sought escape from the burden of normal living becomes an entry on a police blotter. She is an entry past help. She's hooked, a junkie, hype. There is no future. Soon the cold symptoms will commence, the growing pains and tortures of long sleepless days and nights. And the hype knows better than anyone that this is the last of hope. This is the end of the world.
Like the narcotics story, our next clip, Doped Youth, warns families that kids' drug addiction has to be stopped by the parents, or more specifically, the PTA. Of course, I'm sure that was kind of hard when the parents and the teachers were stoned out of their minds. Doped Youth was originally titled The Burning Question. Then it was changed to Tell Our Children. Then it was re-released in the 60s under the title Reefer Madness, where it became a big hit on college campuses. I understand that Universal is thinking about re-releasing Waterworld under the name Fish Tar. They're just waiting for Kevin to turn in his cut. Enjoy Doped Youth.
There is a powerful agency. I speak of the school parent associations of this country. Their health, their eternal vigilance could be the deciding factor in our fight against it. The weed marijuana is grown in every state in the Union. It must be stopped. You and all of the country, and you must stand united on this and stamp out this frightful assassin of our youth. You can do it by bringing about compulsory education on the subject of narcotics in general, but dread marijuana in particular. Out of the traffic in these drugs, a lawlessness that we can scarcely estimate has grown and is now flourishing. It exists in almost every city and hamlet in the country. And the work of the forces of law and order, which are daily combating the traffic, always at the risk of life by their agents. This ceaseless fight against the drug traffic is directed by the Department of Narcotics, Washington. I've received a letter of vital importance from a member of the Narcotics Bureau. I'm going to read this letter to you. My dear Dr. Carroll, the suppression of the use of marijuana and of the forces lurking behind it are the most important jobs this department is now engaged in. At the outset of this letter, there is one vital fact I would like to submit. There is a powerful agency. I speak of the school parent associations of this country, which can be invaluable in stamping out this scourge. Their help, their eternal vigilance, could be the deciding factor in our fight against it.
Now you know why I never smoked weed as a child. Besides, I was too busy eating the threads on my bathrobe. That was much more delicious to me. Next, if you thought Free Love didn't arrive until Haight-Ashbury in '67, just wait until you get a load of our feature presentation of The Astounding Girl Gang. It's about a gang of girls who have breasts that are like perfect little cones, like myself. We'll be back with that and a special guest as Just Say No Night continues on USA's Real Wild Cinema. Please welcome my guest, a comedian and big fan of Real Wild Cinema, Sam Seder.
Thank you, Sandra. It's a pleasure to be here.
That's how I like to define my guests, as people who are fans of me and my work.
I am a huge fan of yours.
Oh, well, it's mutual, Sam.
Honor.
How are you, honey?
I'm very well.
Now, you've seen tonight's feature. Mm-hmm. It's a pretty hard-hitting expose. What do you think?
I found it offensive.
Did you?
I thought it was rude. I thought it was rude and disturbing in many different levels and titillating in ways that I'm not comfortable with.
So you're kind of an insecure guy.
I guess with my own titillation.
When you get turned on, it kind of freaks you out?
It reminded me of an early dream I had as a child. that involved Jacqueline Smith living in my closet and then bringing me down to a subterranean lair.
Sounds hot.
And she puts me in duct tape onto
A chair?
No.
A sliding kind of...
The things that roll, the wheelchairs.
Oh.
And then in a boxing ring, and then she proceeds with a bunch of other girls to beat the hell out of me.
Sounds like a good script for a sexploitation film of the 90s.
Perhaps.
I bet Jackie would like to hear from you.
If anybody else takes that idea, they're in trouble.
I'm going to take it.
Huh?
I'm going to rip you off.
It's copyrighted.
We're here to talk about the sexploitation films.
It's not that sexploitive, this next movie. I found there's a good message behind there.
And what is that message?
Lay off the tea.
Lay off the tea?
Lay off the tea. It's you'll head into the hard stuff.
All right, well, let's head into the hard stuff. You going to hang out with me and watch the feature again?
I'm going to watch it again.
I know you watched it more than once. And,
I've watched it multiple
did,
times.
like, weird, funky things in the bathroom.
It makes me feel...
All right, we're gonna hang out, and then we'll be back.
Super.
Sam Seder! Our feature tonight, Girl Gang, was made in 1954 when Hollywood was all about Doris Day and Debbie Reynolds. People forget that Hollywood movie studios adopted a production code in 1934 that was intended to make sure that movies only included decent moral content. Yeah, imagine if the code was still enforced today. Debbie Reynolds would have Sharon Stone's career, and Hollywood would be a ghost town. Sex was strictly taboo, and if you showed crime, you always had to show punishment. Until the production code started to crumble in the 60s, the only way audiences could see these forbidden subjects was in underground exploitation films like Girl Gang. There's enough overacting going on with the doc to make your entire viewing experience worthwhile. Enjoy part 1 of Girl Gang.
Come on in, girls. I'll tell Joe you're here.
Yeah, tell him to hurry. It's very important.
Hi, kids. What gives?
All right, just blazing a few weeds.
Yeah, me too. Got to revitalize my system. You kids joining in?
Yeah, let's make it a tea party.
Can't do it. We're here on business.
Yeah, just dragged in a new deal.
Got another car for you.
A real slick job, too.
Where's it at?
Outside on the lot, of course.
How many times have I told you kids not to drag a hot car out here?
We need money fast, that's why.
Better go down and take a look at it before the owner comes around and claims it.
Incidentally, how'd you kids get the car?
Well, we just laid the driver to rest out on the highway.
How many times have I told you, no rough stuff?
I only touched him lightly.
Yeah, he must have been the weak type. Why bother with details, Joe? We get them. You buy them.
Okay, I'll take a look at it. Jack, come on, let's go out and look at the car. Okay, boss.
Don't forget, we want a quick deal.
Just as Jack and I are snug as 2 fleas on a camel's back, you gals gotta barge in and take him away from me.
You must be loaded. Let me have a puff off your weed.
Go ahead. Anything else you want?
The car looks okay. Drive it over to Bud's garage and come right back. Okay, boss.
What?
$200? Well, that's nothing for that car.
We gotta split that 4 ways.
We can sell it ourselves and get 4 times that much.
Oh, no, you can't. It's a hot car. I got to give it a new paint job and change the serial numbers on the engine. And I have to practically give it away to get my dough out of the deal.
Yeah? And you take our money back as soon as we get it from you. You sure got us coming and going.
Oh, let's forget the whole thing. Tomorrow's another day. Here's your share, and let's stop beefing.
This'll just about last me 2 days. Here, take some money. I want a shot.
By the way, you owe me $8. I'll take that, too.
Let's load up if we're going to the cellar.
Hey, how about me? When do I get to join the cellar club?
Anytime now. Joe tells me you're being a regular gal these days.
Yeah, Joe, why not come along with us? You know, you're always welcome.
Sorry, girls, can't do it. Gotta watch the joint. You know, you never can tell when business will drop in.
No sticks for me. I want another shot. Heron, that is.
Okay, I'll have Daisy take care of you. Let's have your money, girls. Come on. All right, on your way. Come on your way. I'm busy here.
Oh, it's you. Hello, Doc.
I can't help it, Joe. I just gotta have it. It's gotta where I don't feel these things anymore. I gotta have 5 or 6 a day to keep me going.
Anyone would think you're an old-timer.
Could be. How was I to know it'd get you so fast?
Say, what's going on around here? Kid parties?
As if you didn't know.
Oh, I just thought I'd ask.
They're, grown-up kids.
You don't say.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Joe's educating one of them right now.
I'll show you something stronger. Something make you wish you'd never seen marijuana before.
You mean it?
Sure do.
Oh, you're a swell guy, Joe. I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Oh, hello, Doc. Come on in. Good doc's always handy to have around.
Always been competent, haven't I?
June, I want you to meet Doc Bedford. Old Sawbones here is a regular guy.
Oh, we've met before, haven't we, Doc?
Glad to be of service, you know.
Come to think of it, you can be of a little service right now.
What is it, boss?
I want you to show June here how to use the needle.
You sell that stuff. Why don't you show him how to use it?
All right, give me a clean needle and I'll show her how it's done. Mighty handy way of carrying your equipment. I know. Just in case of emergency. Now get out. If I need you, I'll call you. Go on, get out of here.
Is this something really good?
Nothing like it. First thing you know, you'll want nothing else but. Hi, Doc. You inject the stuff under the skin. On a girl, the leg is best. Few will get to see the needle marks.
Well, after that, Aaron, and the long walk back, I guess I earned myself a joy pop.
You didn't give me a chance to offer. As a matter of fact, I had you in mind. Come on in the kitchen, I'll fix you up.
Just a minute there. Before you gals can go any further, you should know that there are certain initiation requirements.
Yeah, I know all about it. Tell her. She doesn't.
Well, all right. What are these so-called requirements?
Well, you have to make love to 5 boys who belong to the club.
Oh, well, that's easy enough.
Maybe you didn't quite understand. I mean make love to each one, intimately.
You mean have relations with 5 boys? Oh, I don't think I could.
Well, you'll have plenty of free smokes from the boys and you won't even know it.
I hope nothing goes wrong.
Don't you worry one bit, honey. Doc Bedford's on our payroll.
Yeah, we see that he gets a bottle every so often. We're well organized, if you ask me. Gee, thanks.
come here for nothing. I gotta be initiated.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Coming up in part 2, the living room couch gets a lot of action. You don't want to miss that. You mean I have to have intimate relations with 5 boys? Oh, please, like you haven't slept with every guy in town. I hate really slutty girls who act like shy buttercups. At first, I thought about being in a girl gang. Thought it would be kind of cool. But when you think about it, it's just a bunch of girls sitting around bitching at each other. I'll pass. I get enough of that without having to join a gang. Enjoy part 2.
Say, by the way, Jack, it's been quite some time since you brought me a greenhorn. I could use a few new customers.
June, I'll have a couple for you tomorrow. Well, they're school kids.
Do I ask questions? Besides, it'll mean some more free shots for you.
And don't forget June. She'll soon be going strong on the new habit, too. Thanks to you.
Okay. Hold on, I'll ask Joe. Hey, boss. Jack on the phone wants to know if it's okay to bring over a couple of dudes.
Sure, tell them to bring them over before they change their minds.
Right. Bring them over anytime. Bye.
The setup is ideal.
Maybe so, but why pick Sunday morning for the job?
It's ideal. It's on a somewhat deserted highway on a Sunday morning. Besides, all of Saturday's receipts are on hand. We cased the station already.
I don't think I can make it. Not on Sunday morning.
Why not?
'Cause my folks make me go to church on Sunday mornings.
Oh, what do you know? A reformer amongst us.
All right, tone down. So what? You tell your folks you're going to church early for a change.
I guess so.
I don't know what the world's coming to. Folks just want to run your business.
Well, let's go over the plans once again so everybody knows just what to do.
Yeah, and I expect every one of you to make good. Remember, y'all owe me money, and I want it before you get any more stuff from me.
Okay, tell us once more about tomorrow morning. We'll be all set.
You drive to the gas station. When you get there, the boys get out. You order gas. While the attendant's gassing the car, you walk around and make with the conversation.
And I go to the station office and work over the register.
Right.
I get you, boss.
I got it, Joe. It'll work.
Good morning, ladies. What'll it be?
Make it about 10 gallons, big boy.
Got a phone I can use?
Sure. Out here or right inside the office.
Stay right where you are, big boy. I mean business.
on, Doc, get that bullet out.
Yeah? First, I gotta know how this happened.
Oh, we held up a service station and not the deal.
Never mind the details. Remove the bullet.
Look, I'm a respectable doctor, even if I haven't got a license. I can't stick my neck out for nothing. Besides, I gotta get paid for a job like this.
Here's the money we got from the job. 85 bucks. It wasn't worth the trouble.
Let me have it.
I'll take that. I want to see you get started on that bullet first. You'll get your money.
Well, don't stand around. Tear her blouse off. You, get me some hot water. And you girls, leave the room. I can't have women around.
You mean to tell me the doc's gonna operate on that filthy, dirty kitchen table?
Oh, control yourself.
Get out of my way or I'll slug you.
You can't go in. It'll be over in a minute.
We have to work fast, boys. Hand me that clamp.
What's taking him so long?
Ah, quit worrying. Wouldn't surprise me if this operation was just another boner.
What do you mean?
Just another dead patient.
Why, you low-down tramp!
There.
There it is.
I tell you, Doc, it don't look good to me.
Oh, she'll come out of it.
Doc, I tell you, she's out cold.
Hey, about breaking up.
What's going on here? Surgery?
Removing a bullet without first notifying the police.
Get your hands off me, Flatfoot!
Well, the girl's dead. Which one of you removed the bullet?
The doctor did.
We'll soon find out. Where's the doctor?
He ran out when you guys came in.
He won't get far. We've got the building surrounded. Come on, we're going to take all of you.
End of him.
I love a doctor so confident of himself he doesn't need a license to practice. Poor old Doc. He only wanted to conduct back alley abortions and supply needles to get teenagers hooked on heroin. Why, oh why, did he have to die? After this commercial, we'll have more with our guest and see what a difference a decade makes when we flash forward to the 60s and something's happening. We're back with Sam Seder. Did you see any of these drug education films in high school? Did they force that stuff down your throat?
You know, this girl gangs does not seem like a drug education. It sort of
kind of seems like they're promoting drug use.
Well,
is that more what it's about?
I think the only thing that I took out of it was just needals are bad.
Yeah, well,
but everything
true.
else is
everything else
okay.
goes, baby. Woo!
Yeah. I mean,
it's hot and swinging.
Yeah, I think. I mean, short of, and I think it also sort of discouraged that whole 5 guys at one time thing.
Which I know you've been copiously
4 is my
involved with.
limit.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. So.
4 guys and 1 hot.
4 anything.
Big boobied chick.
I just don't, exactly. That's right. I don't want to watch anything more than 4 on
Oh, wait a minute. You were,
one.
I meant you were actually involved, not watching, Sam.
Oh, well, I mean, that's, watching is involvement for me. Some of us are a little less,
a little less aggressive.
a little more vicarious, yes.
I know. I understand that concept.
You understand.
Sure I do.
God bless you.
Where are you from, Sam?
Worcester, Massachusetts.
Mars? Which planet are you from? Are you from Brainiac or something?
No,
Brainiac, Massachusetts? Isn't there a Brainerd?
It's Braintree.
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 There's a brain growing out of your tree.
I'm about 30 miles west of Braintree.
You're about 30 years old.
Oh, yes, down the pike, as we say.
So, did this film make you stay away from the hard stuff?
I have been away from the hard stuff for a long time.
Really?
Yes. I had a bad experience.
What'd you do?
I went down to Jamaica.
Uh-huh.
Years and years ago.
Say no more.
And this mushroom ganja cake, which I would not suggest to anybody.
With a nice light sauce.
But I spent 3 days in my hotel room because I was afraid of the storks outside.
Well, who isn't afraid of the storks? That's the bigger question.
Exactly.
Reminds me of my trip to Amsterdam. It was
Really?
a similar experience.
My friend said I was never the same.
Yeah, well, maybe that's the explanation for the rubber monster suit.
Had we done this 12?
Yeah, it is rubber.
It's not that rubbery.
Well, Sam.
Stay away from the hard stuff, kids.
I
That's the point.
am, because next time I have to deal with somebody like you, Sam, I'm gonna have to go on the hard stuff. I'm just
Ouch!
teasing
Come
you.
on.
You're a doll.
You and your tea.
Thanks for coming. Hold on to something, because you're about to be submerged in a world wilder than anything you've ever experienced. Love-ins, hallucinogenic lights, hypnotic music, the stupefied, vacant stare of the truly enlightened. God, I miss those kooky nights at the Playboy Mansion. Something's Happening, The Hippie Revolt, is a documentary directed by Edgar Beatty that shows all the different sides to life in the youth culture of 1967. Remember, you're in a safe place, so just chill out. Don't you just love a good strobe light? We'll be back with more drug-induced hysteria after this. Welcome back to Real Wild Cinema. If there's one thing we're trying to get across in this show, it's that there's nothing new under the sun, and all you need is a camera and a few friends, and you too can be a filmmaker. Actually, that's 2 things. If I thought about it, I probably could think of a few more points we're trying to get across, but then that's not really in my contract. Watch these hopped-up hepcats in The Cool and Crazy from 1958, then drift back with us to 1927 to see how cowboys love their local weed in the Old West.
Creeps wants us in his gut, huh?
The cool and the crazy, the weak and the strong, the leaders and the followers, the happy and the dangerous.
I know all about you and your reform school background. I'm not holding it against you.
High school kids, the real gone guys, growing up, hungry for excitement, any and all kinds.
Hey, you know what we need here, huh? We need some broads.
And because of women like this and their men, victimizing boys, trouble hits hot and heavy.
Hey, the handsome cowboy just wanted to know what it would be like to go bug house. As if the experience of buying the stuff from Chick wasn't bizarre enough. Okay, we're gonna end this trip now. I'm gonna talk you down. Look around you, man. You're in a safe place and nobody's hassling you. Just chill out and come back next week for another fix of bad movies that are good. This is your designated driver saying, find my car keys. You've had enough. I'm Sandra Bernhard. Good midnight to you.